Hey guys, welcome to day one of this week. We're going to dive back into our discussion about fractions and multiplying different types. But before we do that, we need to review some vocabulary and just some steps on going from improper fractions to mixed fractions and then from mixed fractions back to improper fractions. So if you could head your next two pages as such, that would be great. Pause the video if you need to get it down. So page 83 is going to be fractions converting improper to mixed, and page 84 is going to be fractions converting mixed to improper, so reversing that. So on page 83, I'm going to start out with some review on vocab. So a proper fraction is sorry, I lost my place on my page, is when the numerator is less than the denominator. Okay, so examples of that, I'm going to do my examples in green for right now. Example would be 1/3, 3/4, or 2/7. Okay, so that's a proper fraction. Then I'm going to squish these together because I'm going to need a lot of this page to do notes on. We have improper. And so an improper fraction is a fraction where the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. Okay, so our example for this one, let's make it blue. Our example for this is going to be like 4/3 because the numerator is larger than the denominator, 11/4, or 7/7. So even though the numerator and denominator are the same, it's still considered an improper fraction. Again, if I'm going too fast, stop the video and get your notes down and then continue, okay? And our last one is called a mixed fraction. And that is when there's a whole number and a proper fraction put together. Okay, so an example of that, let's do red. We'll do red. Would look like this: 1.5, 3 4/5, or 12 1/8. Okay, let me zoom in because you're probably like, oh my gosh, I can't see that. And I just did it. Okay, so pause that if you need to. Okay, so now we're going to get into talking about how to go from improper to a mixed fraction. Okay, so I'm just going to put a line under this. And I'm going to do some notes on here. Okay, so this is going to be converting improper to mixed. So improper fraction to mixed fraction. All right, so step one. I'm going to try to do some examples on the side as we're going through this. So step one is going to be to divide the numerator by the denominator. Okay, so if I have my improper fraction, which we said was going to be blue, and here's my example here, I have 11/4. I am going to just quickly label these. This is the numerator, and this is the denominator. So I'm going to set this up as 11 is going to be divided by 4, okay? So that's as much as I'm going to do for step 1. Step 2, I'm going to write down the whole number answer. And you might be going, wait, what? How does that work? Well, 11 divided by 4, I know that 4 goes into 11 2 times. And because 2 times 4 is 8, and 11 minus 8 is 3, I know that it's going to be 2 with a remainder of 3, okay? So I'm going to have my whole number come down, and then I'm going to have step 3, which is going to be a little bit combined here, okay? So step 3. Then you're going to write down any remainder above prior numerator. I'm just going to abbreviate that. So my remainder here, so let's just kind of box this. My remainder is going to go on to be the numerator, new numerator, and I'm going to continue using my old denominator. So my old denominator was 4, so I'm going to end up with 2 3/4. Okay, so let's do a quick practice one. And we'll do it together, and then you're going to have some practice ones to do tonight. Okay, so for practice, I'm going to do 10 thirds. So 10 thirds. So I know my first step is I'm going to have to divide 10 by 3. So 10 divided by 3. Well, I know that 3 goes into 10 3 times, and that gets me 9, and then 10 minus 9 is 1, so I'm going to end up with 3 remainder 1, okay? So I'm going to take this whole number, and I'm going to write that right there, and I know that there's going to be 1 left, and so it's going to be 1 over my original new denominator of 3, so 3 1/3, okay? So if you want me to color code that a little bit easier, it would be like this. This one goes here. Should have done these a little different, but that's okay. 3 goes here. And then this old denominator goes all the way over here. Okay? All right, so you're going to get some practice problems here. So at the bottom of your page, just draw a line. And we'll just make 2 boxes here. You're just going to get 2 practice problems. Okay, so your practice problems for tonight are going to be 13 over 8 and 11 over 5. Okay, so try those out. Tell me what you think. You're going to go on and watch the second video now, which is going to just do a quick review of how to go from a mixed fraction to an improper fraction. So the reverse of this, okay? All right, it won't be too long, but it'll just give you the reverse of this. Okay, see you in a couple minutes.